Once upon a time, in the heart of Britain, there came a period of profound transformation known as the Industrial Revolution. Picture this. It's the late 1700s, and the air is thick with the sound of clanking machinery and the hiss of steam. This was the dawn of a new era, where innovation met ambition, and society would never be the same again. It all began with the invention of remarkable steam-powered machines. These marvels of engineering found their home in bustling factories that sprung up in the ever-expanding urban landscapes. While agriculture still held its place, it was the cotton textiles industry that soared to the top, becoming Britain's pride and joy on the global stage. But the changes weren't just economic, they ran deep into the social fabric of society. Wealth was no longer measured solely by land ownership. Now, capital held the key. And who would have thought? Women and children joined the workforce in numbers never seen before, diversifying the labor force like never before. Pinpointing the exact start and end of this revolution is tricky business. It wasn't a sudden explosion of change, but rather a gradual evolution that spanned decades. Some argue it began as early as the 17th century, while others extend its reach well into the 19th century. Nevertheless, what's undeniable is the monumental impact it had on every aspect of life. Now, let's talk labels. The term Industrial Revolution might make it sound like a whirlwind of activity, but that's not quite accurate. This wasn't a rebellion or a revolt. It was a slow, methodical shift that affected every corner of society, both urban and rural. Imagine being transported from the past, say, the late 1500s, to witness the marvels of the late 19th century. The change would be nothing short of mind-boggling. Even Thomas Hardy, the renowned author, noted that the steam-powered railways alone brought more change than anything since the Norman conquest in 1066. But here's the kicker. While Britain was the birthplace of this revolution, its effects rippled far beyond its shores. France, Germany, the United States, each had their own industrial awakenings, earning them the title of the Second Industrial Revolution. As the dawn of the Industrial Revolution unfolded, its roots delved deep into the fertile soil of Britain's past. The catalysts for this monumental shift were as varied as they were intriguing. Firstly, let's talk agriculture. Picture vast fields stretching as far as the eye can see, nourished by an efficient system that could sustain a burgeoning population. This ensured that bellies were full and minds were free to dream of greater things. But that's not all. Beneath Britain's surface lay a hidden treasure trove: coal. In the year 1700, this island nation was already a master of mining, churning out a staggering 80% of Europe's coal supply. And it wasn't just about digging it up, it was about what they could do with it. Enter coke, the secret ingredient for high-quality iron. By baking coal in furnaces, they purified it, paving the way for a revolution in metalworking. Abraham Darby, a name now etched in the annals of history, pioneered this technique in 1709 at Coalbrookdale in Shropshire. With coke-fired furnaces blazing, Britain had not only the materials to build machines, but also the fuel to power them. Now, let's talk labor. With agriculture booming and land becoming increasingly enclosed for farming, the demand for labor soared. But here's the twist. As more folks flocked to cities in search of opportunity, wages rose, making labor a precious commodity. This sparked a fire in the minds of inventors, driving them to design machines that could lighten the load. And, where there's innovation, there are capitalists eager to invest. With governments offering favorable conditions and trade routes expanding, particularly thanks to giants like the East India Company, the stage was set for a revolution in industry. Textile mills sprung up like mushrooms after rain, drawing in workers from far and wide. But here's the kicker. Once the wheels of urbanization started turning, there was no stopping them. Each invention fueled the next, igniting a chain reaction of progress. And when the railways came chugging along, they only fanned the flames, creating an insatiable hunger for coal, iron, and steel. With cities swelling and a burgeoning middle class hungry for innovation, the demand for goods skyrocketed. And so, the cycle continued, each innovation begetting another, in a dance of progress that would reshape the very fabric of society. While other nations may have dabbled in some of these factors, none could match the perfect storm that brewed in Britain's cauldron of industry. And the story of the Industrial Revolution wouldn't be complete without the tales of ingenious inventors and their marvels of machinery. Among these, none shone brighter than the steam engine. Long had humanity relied on the forces of nature, water, wind, and muscle power, to drive heavy machinery. But it was the steam engine that truly changed the game. Initially designed to drain mine shafts, these early steam pumps paved the way for a new era of industry. Thomas Savery and Thomas Newcomen were among the pioneers, refining the design and making it more efficient. But it was James Watt, along with Matthew Boulton, who truly unleashed its potential. Their Watt steam engine, born in 1769, became the powerhouse that drove Britain's industrial might. By the turn of the century, steam engines were everywhere, powering mines, cotton mills, and factories across the land. Britain boasted over 2,500 of these mighty machines, dwarfing the numbers found elsewhere in the world. But it wasn't just on land that steam power reigned supreme. Enter the steam-powered railways, heralding a new era of travel and transformation. George Stephenson, with his locomotion One Train, made history in 1825 by ferrying passengers from Stockton to Darlington. His son, Robert Stephenson, followed suit with the rocket, stealing the show at the Rainhill Trials and paving the way for the railway revolution. Soon, Britain was crisscrossed with railways, connecting cities and towns like never before. Birmingham to London in 1838, Manchester to London in 1845, the distances that once took days to traverse were now conquered in mere hours. But the steam revolution didn't stop at the railways, it took to the seas with equal fervor. Isambard Kingdom Brunel, a name synonymous with engineering genius, harnessed steam power to build monumental ships like the SS Great Western, SS Great Britain, and SS Great Eastern. These behemoths cut through the waves with unprecedented speed, shrinking the world and opening up new frontiers of trade and travel. And so, fueled by steam and stoked by innovation, the Industrial Revolution charged forward. Amidst the roar of steam engines and the clatter of railways, the rise of factories stood as a testament to the ingenuity of the Industrial Revolution. It was here, within the hulking walls of these industrial behemoths, that the very fabric of society was rewoven. From the late 1700s, steam-powered machines found their true calling in the textile industry. By 1835, a staggering 75% of cotton mills hummed to the tune of steam power, a testament to their efficiency and productivity. A myriad of inventions revolutionized every step of the cotton manufacturing process, from cleaning to spinning and weaving. Names like John Kay, James Hargreaves, Richard Arkwright, Samuel Crompton, and Edmund Cartwright became synonymous with progress, their creations transforming the landscape of industry. But progress, as history has shown, is rarely without its detractors. The Luddites, driven by desperation, took to the streets in protest, their anger aimed at the machines that had stolen their livelihoods. Yet, despite the turmoil, the tide of mechanization could not be stemmed. For every job lost, countless others were born within the walls of these factories, offering hope and opportunity to those willing to seize it. And while factories may have stolen the limelight, agriculture remained the silent backbone of Britain's economy. Enclosures transformed the landscape, expanding farms to meet the demands of a growing population. Innovations in fertilizers and breeding methods bolstered yields, while steam-powered machines like Andrew Meikle's threshing machine revolutionized the way crops were harvested. But progress, as always, came at a cost. Rising rents drove many small-scale farmers from their land, forcing them to seek greener pastures elsewhere. The swing riots of 1830 to 1832 bore witness to this discontent, as farmers rose up against the mechanization that threatened their way of life. Yet, despite the exodus to cities and the protests that echoed across the countryside, agriculture remained a cornerstone of British life. In 1841, a significant portion of the population still toiled on the land, their hands shaping the very sustenance of the nation. And John Harrison's marine chronometer, born in 1770, revolutionized navigation, allowing sailors to accurately measure longitude and chart their course across the seas. Abraham Darby III's cast iron bridge, spanning the River Severn like a mighty titan, opened new pathways of travel and trade in 1781. In the bustling streets of London, Frederick Albert Windsor illuminated the night with his coal gas streetlights, casting away the darkness and ushering in a new era of urban illumination. Meanwhile, the milling machine, with its uncanny precision, shaped metal with a finesse previously unimaginable, opening new frontiers in manufacturing. Joseph Aspden's Portland cement, born in 1824, laid the foundations for a new age of construction, while William Fothergill Cooke and Charles Wheatstone's telegraph machine bridged the gap between distant lands, revolutionizing communication in the blink of an eye. James Nasmyth's steam hammer thundered across foundries and shipyards, bending metal to its will with a force unmatched, while Henry Bessemer's converter breathed new life into steel production, forging a metal stronger and lighter than iron. But beyond the realm of invention lay the true impact of the Industrial Revolution, a tidal wave of progress that swept across society, transforming lives and shaping destinies. Steam-powered machines slashed production costs, driving profits skyward and making consumer goods more affordable than ever before. The transport revolution, led by the iron horse of the railways, connected distant lands and ushered in an era of unprecedented commerce and trade. New jobs sprouted like wildflowers, from bustling railway stations to towering construction sites, offering hope and opportunity to all who sought it. Women found newfound independence in the factories, joining the workforce in droves and reshaping the very fabric of society. For the burgeoning middle class, life was a tapestry of prosperity and comfort. Leafy suburbs beckoned with promises of tranquility, while elegant showrooms and mass advertising tantalized with visions of luxury and indulgence. And as literacy rates soared and vaccinations became commonplace, life expectancy climbed ever higher, fueled by better diet and improved healthcare. Yet, for all its triumphs and advancements, the Industrial Revolution bore a heavy toll, a dark underbelly that cast a shadow over the glittering facade of progress. Traditional industries crumbled in the wake of steam power's ascent, leaving the once proud craftsmen of hand-weaving and stagecoaches destitute and abandoned. In their place rose factories, towering monuments to progress, yet within their walls lurked a world of exploitation and despair. Children, mere babes barely out of infancy, toiled away in the depths of mines and the bowels of factories, their childhood stolen by the insatiable hunger of industry. Forced into grueling 12-hour shifts, their bodies broken and their spirits crushed, they lived lives of quiet desperation, their dreams buried beneath the weight of endless labor. For men, women, and children alike, the factory floors were a prison of monotony and misery. The relentless ticking of the clock dictated their every move, while the threat of dismissal loomed like a specter over their heads. Dangerous machines lurked around every corner, their jaws hungry for flesh and bone, while toxic substances poisoned the very air they breathed. Yet amidst the darkness, a glimmer of hope shone through. From the depths of despair arose voices of dissent, demanding justice and dignity for all who toiled in the shadows of industry. Trade unions, though banned and vilified, fought tooth and nail for the rights of the oppressed, slowly but surely chipping away at the walls of injustice. Urbanization swept across the land like a raging tide, swelling the ranks of city dwellers and leaving the countryside a barren wasteland of neglect. Cramped and squalid housing, polluted streets, and rampant disease became the grim reality for those who called the cities home. But even amidst the chaos, seeds of change were sown. The spread of the Industrial Revolution, like wildfire unleashed upon the world, crossed borders and continents, leaving no corner untouched by its fiery embrace. From the bustling streets of New York to the sleepy villages of India, the march of progress knew no bounds, its tendrils reaching into every corner of the globe. And so, as the 19th century drew to a close and the dawn of a new age beckoned on the horizon, the legacy of the Industrial Revolution stood as both a testament to human ingenuity and a stark reminder of the cost of progress.